You know, folks, I don't want to keep talking about Joe Biden, but I'm forced to because this guy, he has ruined our country like nobody, like no other president in our history. You see, did he give that special award to George Soros, Hillary Clinton? He didn't give one to the pharmaceutical companies. I wonder why. Because they give him a lot of money. But George Soros is big on money. All right, he's given billions, this guy. And Joe Biden got millions and millions of that money. But we can't find it. But you know who could find it? Because see, most people don't know about money. They really don't. No. How do you funnel this kind of money? When you get that high with people with that big money or corporations with all that money. You don't take it in your bank in Delaware. It goes elsewhere. Who could find that? Our Department of Justice could. They have the means. Look at, you know I'm a gangster. But they got the means to be able to tap my phones once a week. I used to change burner phones once a week. And they were tapping them. They got good equipment. Unbelievable. So they could do something. But they don't. Well, I wouldn't have expect that Garland to do anything. Okay? He got turned down by the Senate to be a judge, and everybody went up in arms. The Senate made the right decision with him. And then Biden makes him the Attorney General of this country? And now he's mad at him? You watch him on TV when he talks. You know, back in the day, you know, when I was younger, and there was a show called The Ed Sullivan Show on Sunday nights. And that's where Elvis came. All the big ones came on his show. But he used to have a guy with a puppet, all right? Moving the puppet, moving the lips of the puppet. That's how I see Joe Biden when he's talking. Somebody's moving his lips. But what this guy's done is so disgusting. We have 16 more days until President Donald Trump takes office. This is going to be the longest 16 days in the history of our nation. Because each and every day, those people that nobody tells you who they are, we don't know their names, who are telling Biden what to do. How much more are they going to destroy this country? It's disgusting. You know, I can't do nothing. But you all forget. Why do people forget? People are not educated in this country. That disturbs me. I'm a gangster, and I'm better educated than most people. I have a jacket with the Department of Justice. It says organized crime stamped on it. You know what a jacket is? That's my file at the Department of Justice. It's about that big, from what I was told. What are we going to do? We are the ones that had to suffer because of Joe Biden. We, the people of this country, us patriots who love this country. I'm a gangster. I love this country. Biden doesn't. And Biden is the guy that in 1971, when was it? Okay, he wrote the worst crime bill in history. This guy actually physically sat down and wrote it out. Those are all his thoughts, the way he feels the laws should be for the people, but not for him. Or not for the people in the U.S. House of Representatives. Now, you do have in New Jersey, all right, Robert Mendez, who's been found guilty. He's going to be sentenced here pretty soon. I don't know this Robert Mendez, but this guy was taking gold bars and all sorts of money from other countries. Now, his biggest mistake, he made a mistake because he got caught. Most people don't get caught there. So either somebody really doesn't like him from inside. If I did 10% of what Joe Biden did, I'd be in prison for the rest of my life. But obviously some of you love him. You know, I'm not going to bitter about that. But 16 days, it's a long time for the American people to have to wait for things to start turning good in this country. 16 more days. You know, I wasn't going to do anything. I wasn't coming back to work until Monday. But I decided I had to do this today. I mean, I woke up this morning and started cleaning up. You know, I'll tell you I got to tell you about me, a little bit about me. I have OCD. It's so bad that I can't stand myself. I see one little thing out of the way, I got to take care of it. I see one little speck on my carpet, I got to clean it. Everything for me has got to be in its place, and it's got to be clean. I'm a clean freak. What am I going to do? Today, I don't want to call anybody, so I started cleaning my own carpets with a mop. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? Who does that? I did. Thank you, Mark. You know, I watched a little of that, Mark, of them, honoring the late Jimmy Carter. And you know, I'm going to tell you something in all honesty, and I hope I don't hurt anybody's feeling. As I sat there listening to his grandson, his son, and other people talk about him, I'm thinking to myself, what did he do when he was president? Because I can't remember. It's like I don't even remember that span of time that he was president of the United States. I know he's a nice guy, very nice guy, and he should be loved. But you know, there's a saying that nice guys finish last. Nice guys finish last. It's true. It's sad to say. You have no idea what favors I do for people, and I have done, okay? Some of them don't even say thank you. No, let's talk about Judge Hershon. Why did he pick January 10th to sentence Donald Trump? Why? That came from Biden. Somehow, someway, Biden or George Soros. You gotta understand money, how it works. Did that judge get paid? You'll never know. You know, our judicial system, I could vouch for the fact that having political friends is a big help in the judicial system. Most people, when they go and they got a problem, and they're, in my case, I was locked up at MDC in Brooklyn. Our first judge recused herself because we had some guys who had the death penalty. And I'm happy because I'm afraid, to be honest with you, I'm afraid of female judges. All right, they're bad. And then we got, our next judge was Judge Brian Colgan. You know the first thing I did? I had his political, I had him checked out to see who appointed him, what his political beliefs were. And I found out it was George W. Bush, who appointed him, okay? And he turned out to be a great, for myself, because I was writing my own motions. I didn't even trust my lawyers. I took the law into myself and studied it. And if I didn't, I'd still be in prison to this day. Oh, Liz Cheney. Yeah, Liz Cheney, who was nothing, becomes something, nothing in the Republican Party, becomes big in the Democratic Party. Can you figure that one out? Okay? Oh, these Democrats, these liberals are so, they're crazy, man. Crazy. Wyatt Earp. Yeah, Liz Cheney gets an award. Okay. Kamala Harris brings her on the campaign trail like she was going to help her. The whole country didn't like her father, okay? Now they're going to like her? You going to like somebody who's a traitor? If you do, you got problems. Oh, boy. I don't know. Folks, I'm having I got espresso in here. It's not a double, it's about a triple. But anyways, 16 more days, folks. What are we going to do? We have to suffer, okay? Joe Biden put more people in prison than anybody else in history. He's the reason that you got minimum mandatory sentencing. He is the reason that you got to do 85% of your time now. See, all this, prior to that, it was up to the judge's discretion. when the judges made those rules. In my case, I know that if I didn't have a minimum mandatory, I would have been released for time served because I had already done 30 months. I had to do another 30 months because of the minimum mandatory. I told you about politicians. Most people don't know, aren't smart enough to figure out the political position of that judge. But in today's world, that's very important. I figured it out. And maybe someday I'm going to tell you exactly how it helped. But I'm not going to tell you now, but I tell you, it did help. Very much. Did I ever meet Wyatt Earp? No, I think he was dead before I was born, wasn't he? Folks, everybody having a good day? It's going to be a great year. I'm going to tell you something. I know my friends who are in business, who employ people, a lot of them were going to close shop up if come out of here. Now they're very optimistic and they're out there for business. And their employees are going to keep their jobs. But if Biden had his way, they'd lose their jobs. He don't care about anybody. Yeah, Trump is putting together a very good team. It's like, the first time he was president was like the learning stages of how because Trump wasn't a politician. Now he learned how it was. He was able to take what he learned and utilize it in the right way. Trump's a smart guy. But one thing, he's very sincere. I feel that he wants to make America great again. But these liberals, they want to give them all the problems they could. If you are a liberal, how can you live with yourself? Seriously. With your people doing these things to destroy this country. I'm going to say this, I'll say it again, and every time I say it, you're going to hear me say it. When the election is over and new president has won, he should take over office the next day. Why do we got to wait a few months to give this guy, all right? The media, well, when you say the media, you're talking about CNN, MSNBC. MSNBC should be closed up. Every one of their pundits should be taken off the air. Those people are making millions of dollars of lying. All right? To lie to you. And they done it. And it worked for a while. But finally, America woke up. And what did they wake up? They woke up when they couldn't go to the grocery store and afford to buy their groceries they needed for their family. All right, when they get affected money-wise, no, they change. Their thought process changed. Why? It wasn't like this before. We've had recessions. I believe it was a recession, okay? They just didn't want to tell us. But America got smart. Well, there is no Democratic Party. You got to remember, years ago we had a real Democratic Party. And you know what the real Democratic Party did for the people? They did exactly what Donald Trump and the Republican Party now wants to do for the people. Thank you, Brady. I appreciate that. Yeah, let's change. Now the Republicans want to help the people and give things back to the people who make up this country. It's us. Each and every one of us. Each and every one of you here. Henry, will he ever go back? Henry goes and asks me. No, not in the way they're doing it. No, I don't see it. And I'm going to tell you, I think we got at least 12 more years with the Republicans being in office. Right? If Trump does, which I believe he will, if he does half of what he's trying to do, okay, then the next president would be J.D. Vance. And he's going to be awesome. He's going to be awesome, and he'll be in for 8 years. That's my perspective right now. But the Democrats will never go back to being Democrats because they don't know what it is anymore to be a Democrat. You see, when you have somebody that's so greedy that they only think of themselves, it's going to come back to bite them. And that's what happened to the Democrats. They had so much control for so long that they've been able to rob and steal. I mean, every member of the U.S. House of Representatives are multimillionaires. You got no poor guys in there. Yeah, JDM. Yeah, I got thoughts on Sammy. I know Sammy. I don't like to get into that gangster shit, okay? You know why? I'm going to tell you, and I'm glad you brought that up, okay? Because I would watch, yesterday had nothing to do. I didn't want to watch TV, so I was watching YouTube. And I got these guys, not me, I got 5,000 subscribers, 5,300, okay? By the way, please, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to my channel, all right? But these people don't know what they're talking about. There was one, I can't remember who it was, talking about what mafia bosses go through in prison. And I heard him talk about Sammy and Michael. He don't know shit. Don't know shit about Michael. I know. I know something that what happened with John Gotti Jr. on that show with Patrick Betta. And nobody's brought it up. Why do I know it? Because I seen the documents. That's why I know. I seen the documents while I sat in prison in MDC. I know what the truth is. Sonny Franche had to go and make a vote. If somebody would live or die, he had to go down. He was one of the persons, he was the underboss of the Colombo family. He had to vote then. Carmine was in prison. So Sonny had to vote. The underboss had to take that position for the Colombo family. and he voted to get rid of the guy. But you know, I watch these idiots, don't know what they're talking about, and they got hundreds of thousands of views. I watch these rats. So I made a decision years ago, I'm not going to talk about that shit. And I know the truth. I was in the room. But why? Is it going to make me get me more subscribers because I'm going to talk about it? And then I got to fight all those assholes? I'll fight them all. I don't give a shit. All right? Because somebody comes for me, all right? Buy a one-way ticket. They ain't going back. But anyway, I wanted to tell you that, folks. So I don't pay attention. You know, the mod genre on YouTube is made up mainly of rats, okay? And years ago, this would never have happened because they never would have lived. They were rats then, they're rats now. They're not going to change. All they have done now is made a training ground. All right, all the subscribers they have, they're training those people to become rats. So we got a country of rats now. Does not make me happy, but I can't change that. I try to give you positive, real information, real knowledge from my 80 years on this earth. So the followers and subscribers that I do have, they are really loyal. You folks are loyal. So if I don't have 1 million, big deal. All right? So, folks, I got to go to the post office and mail a few books. You all know I'm an author. I'm not going to show you my book today. You want to buy it, you know how to buy a book. I don't have to tell you how. If not, everybody, have a great day. God bless. Once again, all my love and respect to you. Take care, everybody.